This is Worth Creek. Yeah, and what do you see here, Joe?
When we were here in March and April and into May, this area that we're looking at here was the last refuge for juvenile, we actually saw juvenile cove and salmon swimming around in this pool. It was a pool at that time. Now it's just a stagnant little tiny bit of water at the top, and good Lord, there are thousands of wasps here. I don't know if they're underground or what, but the entire place, like there's no possibility of any fish living here. And we don't see any flow at all going downstream through the channels at all. So the situation is a little bit more dire than it was back in the fall or in the spring.
What does this mean for the salmon coming up in December?
Well, they can't because there's no water for them to get up here. This whole area that we're standing in was full of spawned fish and reds, right? We dug up reds through here. Like, there's no possible way, unless, God forbid, if it starts to rain and the water levels come up and flow starts going through here again, there's no chance that any fish will make it up here.
Thank you. Thank you for that bad news. DFO, I asked you what I would see here in December, and you said, quote unquote, "We don't know, please let us know what you see." I wish your answer had been, "We will see salmon because we've done such and such."
I don't think I've ever seen a wasp nest that big.
No. This time of year, though, they're in the ground.
No, I know, but I've never seen that.
I've never
look
seen
at them.
that either. I don't know why they're here. Why would they be here?
I don't know. Good question. You can see they've also anchored some logs in the center there. Got cables on them. And I suspect this is what they're referring to as their habitat complexing.
Yeah, right.
Right? And that whole thing is supposed to maintain the integrity of this whole new channel. I mean, like, all you have to do is look underground, like just walk on this stuff, and you can see how loose and unconsolidated it is. Right?
This is Jack Emberley. I'm at Norrish Creek with John Waring and Chris Clavette. We're looking at part of the restoration plan that CP has recently been involved in creating to restore the morphology of Norrish Creek and supposedly benefit the tributaries and Worth Creek by bringing more water into them. John, what do you see here, and do you think it's going to be effective?
I see a pile of wood that's been anchored in the shore or into a berm that is got to be at least, 3-4 meters above the height of the water. You see Norrish Creek flowing in the background here, and this newly constructed channel that almost looks like it flows uphill, that is completely dry. The channel is all unconsolidated gravel, cobble mix. I suspect that the idea is when water levels come up in Norrish Creek, that water will eventually flow down here. But how this is going to benefit any of the streams that are off on the sides, on the uplands above this level that we're standing at, so this is again 3 or 4 meters higher than the water level, it's not going to benefit anything, really. Once the water starts moving through here, this whole channel is going to just realign itself. It's all loose, consolidated material. So yeah, I don't know. I fail to understand how this is a remediation of the damage that's been done. You can see the extent of the damage that's been done already, upstream, downstream, in the channel. And if this is what they call habitat complexing, that's the only structure I see right here. I can look down maybe almost 100 meters, 50 to 100 meters downstream. I don't see any other ones. If you're going to build a channel like this and stabilize it, you want to put in riprap, put in many more of these structures to stabilize that channel. Otherwise, it's just pretty much a lost cause, in my view.
Dr. Marvin Rosenell would agree with what John just said here. Recently, when overlooking this, he said that part of CP's restoration plan won't work and in fact will mess things up even more. DFO's senior West Coast managers recently asked him for ideas. They're in a report he will be sending to them very soon. Dear DFO, the Norrish Creek Gravel Stewardship Group, of which I'm a member, wants your comment re Rosenell's and Waring's remediation suggestions. And respectfully, please tell us how you think the costly work done here, which you approved, will restore the salmon runs at Worth Creek and other Norrish Creek side channels and tributaries. Ending the silence completely is the right thing to do. The public has a right to know all the facts. Jack Emberley, along the Fraser.
This is a bloody joke, honestly. I fail to see how this is going to benefit. I mean, Worth Creek is over there, and it's perched. It's a perched stream, right? And the water flows down this way. What they're doing is just diverting the water this way. How is the water going to flow uphill? How is it going to flow uphill? It makes no sense. Worth Creek is above this level that we're even standing on, and we saw that it was bone dry. Water flows out of Worth Creek into Norrish.
Yeah.
It doesn't flow from Norrish into Worth. Right? Norrish is simply a highway for the salmon to come up,
Yeah.
follow their channel, follow their native, and go up Worth Creek.
But the water in Norrish has to be high enough
For the salmon to even get to the mouth of
get to the water that's flowing down from Worth Creek.
if there is any water.
And this will not do it for them.
No, God.
No.
All this is going to do, when the water level comes up, that's the main channel of Norrish over there. When the water level comes up, it's going to just simply split into 3 tendrils or water courses at this level. So it's not going to let the water go up. It's just going to spread it out. Right?
Okay. DFO, we need your comment on that. What do you think? Let's get it right.
Same thing over there. They've dug a channel that flows on this side of that berm, or of that structure.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they're hoping that when the water comes up, it doesn't erode the channel. But I mean, seriously, look at this place.
Yeah.
It's all loose, unconsolidated material. Like, it's treacherous to walk on.
Yeah. And this has all been moved from the stream bed, the main North stream bed, up, pushed up here.
Right? And then, on top of all that, look at all the sand. You don't think the sand is going to move when the water comes up? Like, and then there's a piece of yellow ribbon over there. That's probably the mouth of Worth Creek.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So this channel goes right up to the mouth.
So this is a wonderful little, I guess, make you feel good project, saying, hey, look, we went out there to do some work. Here's what we've done. Is it effective? In my view, no. Will it be effective? In my view, no. Will it even stabilize or stay? In my view, no. But hey, they forced CP to do something. A way to channel water. Some water might go over that way, some water will go this way, but you're splitting the main channel into 3 compared to 1 channel. It's not going to do anything of any note. I don't know. To make it look good. It's a wonderful feel-good project. Okay, we forced CP to do some work. Here's the work that they did.
Yeah. Fairly costly work too.
Yeah, was it? I don't know.
Well, 3 big machines. $1,000 an hour maybe.
Well, if that's what you want to charge for a machine, but so what? So what, 3 or 4 days of work?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking at what, 50 grand maybe for the whole thing?
More.
I don't know what the total cost would be, but
Yeah. Okay. Here's the second channel leading into the mouth of Worth Creek.
Habitat complexity again. Complexing, what they've done here is just got a channel, put a few boulders at this end, pile logs on the other end. What have they done? There's no water flowing down here. Until the water rises and the water flows, it's almost impossible to determine what's going to happen, other than the fact that we know, that whole channel, all the way that they've done, is all just filled in the bottom with fine sand and sediment. And if anything is going to move when water flows in there, it's going to be the fine sand and sediment, and this is where it's going to be deposited. Massive gravel bars. So the only logical source of this water is groundwater. So the aquifer is moving, right? When the water comes up, this water just gets pushed back.
So the aquifer is trying to do its part.
Right?
All of this gravel movement over here, rechanneling of the river of Norrish, has messed it up.
All the gravel extraction. You just see a moonscape here, right?
Moonscape.
Moonscape.
We're just talking about any fish that were in Norrish Creek. They're not talking about any fish that are in the side channels or Worth Creek or anything. No.
And that's a real problem, because from an engineering standpoint, when you're dealing with a system like this and you're perturbating it so much, there has to be an understanding of the dynamics of water flow. There has to be an understanding of how does this affect not just the channel you're digging in, but everything around it.
And we have determined that DFO never asked anybody to determine that, to make sure that those things were operative before they did anything in here. They didn't consider those things. They didn't ask anybody to consider water level, table, groundwater flow to tributaries. They didn't ask them.
In a way they did, because what they did is they told CPKC that they were to hire a qualified environmental professional to oversee and monitor the work and prevent the impacts.
We asked them if any of their people that they got involved in this asked that question, made that consideration, including the QEP, and we haven't gotten an answer. We have no idea what the QEP advised them.
Well, exactly, and we still haven't seen that report that Hamera put together, right?
Yeah, that's the QEP.
I'd like to see what that report says. Maybe it actually talks about side channels,
Maybe.
streams,
Okay,
right?
that's a good question.
But unless we actually see that report, we can't make any determination.
This is why I wanted to say we need all the facts, we need all the information here. Come clean, no more silence, get it all out. Jack Amberley along the Fraser at Worth Creek, the mouth of Worth Creek, next to Norrish Creek. Where was DFO to prevent this happening in the first place?